Hello and welcome to another video on my channel about Sony's DWX-Series. Today I like to show you how to update your transmitters and receivers in generation 2 and 3. Over the last 14 years, Sony has sent out several updates for the components of the DWX-Series. I don't discuss here version 1, which was available from 2008 to 2012, but then we had generation 2 and generation 2.5, let's say, and generation 3, which is still in a high quantity in the market, so I like to show you how to update transmitters and receivers. The first thing you can check is the link in the description. There are two links. One is for a Dropbox folder where you find all the firmware updates, and the second one is to the Sony Creative Software website where you find the latest version of Sony's wireless studio system, which is at the moment the 5.61. Okay, if we have a look on the folder, then you will see a lot of folders which includes different firmware and setup tools. Let's discuss a little bit the update tools before or the setup tools before we discuss the firmware updates. BC-DWX setting tool, that's the tool for the charger. So it's for this charger here, and it's made to find the charger in the network and give him a different IP address. So it's nothing about firmware update or anything like this. It's just to find the charger in your network. It's normally 192.168.0.1. That's the standard address all the devices have if they're coming from the factory. And then you can change the IP address. So that's the BC-DWX setting tool. The other tool here inside is the RMU setting tool. That's doing exactly the same thing. That's for the remote antenna, where you can find it on the network and you can change some parameters. Most important is the IP address. And then we have the different updaters. If you look on the README first, then you can find the latest version here, or I do some notes here about the latest version, and it also shows you which devices are supported. And let's start with the DWM-02N. This is the handheld. To find out which version you have, you open it, and this sticker shows you here the name DWM-02N. And in the silver corner in the silver area is the TV channel version. This 21 version goes from channel 21 to 29. So this is the N version, generation, let's say 2.5. And this is for all devices the same. So on the belt packs, you find on the back side here, you see here the name, frequency version, and which type of version it is. So here it's frequency version L, and that's the B30. Here it is frequency version 42, and it says DWT-B01N. And is the version 2.5 came on the market in 2015, I guess, and was then succeeded by different versions in the generation 3 in 2019 to 2022. Okay, to define the different product names, everything with an 2 and an N inside is, let's say, generation 2.5. Everything with a 3 inside is generation 3. So P30, B30, B03R, R3D for the rack mount receiver. Okay, the first software you have to update is the system updater. This is a general software where you can drag and drop different update files for the different devices. So I have not mentioned it works only under Windows, and it is specified for Windows 10. Windows 8 is not longer supported. Windows 11 is not fully certificated until now. So please use Windows 10 and take care that you don't have a lot of other threads open, so don't look videos at the same time, don't overload your processor, your network, whatever it is. It's a time-critical process to update field grid arrays, and if it fails, you can get in some trouble here. Okay, double-click on wireless system updater 1.1. That's the latest version. Choose the languages only, English or Japanese. So, and install the software. By the way, if you have installed an older version, you need to deinstall this first over the system preference in Windows. So it will not overwrite anything. We had some troubles in the past, so we decided that you have to deinstall first the older version, and then you can install the latest version. Accept terms and license, of course, and it will install the wireless microphone updater. Launch the software. It will be under Sony wireless microphone system updater. It's a very simple software. You have to connect the update file from the device you like to update. So in our cases, we go back to the website, go on DWM, downloaded it. So you go to the download folder and unzip it, and then you go to the folder where you have the DWPKG package and open it. And now you can connect your device. Be aware that you need best case full batteries, so 50% of the batteries. Don't use empty batteries. It needs some minutes to do it, and it will flash the whole field gate array and start the device again. Connect some batteries. Now you can connect the device you like to update. In our case, it's the handheld, the DWM-02N. Use fresh batteries, or I use here some Panasonic Aniloops. But if you do this, take care that you have set up the right battery type, that you can see what the lifetime of the battery really is. Switch it on and connect it to the computer. You hear the typical Windows noise, and it shows you that the device is connected. You can check this in the device manager, and it shows you here, in our case, a COM6. Yeah, let's unplug it again. You see the COM is gone. If I plug it again in, you see the COM6. If you don't see anything here, or if you see Sony device with the question mark, then you have to install the USB driver correctly. Normally, the USB driver will be okay and it will work, but if not, then you will find in the Dropbox folder some special Windows 10 USB driver. Okay, let's click Next. And it shows you that it has detected the device on COM6. It shows us the actual serial version 1.13, and the new version will be 1.17, and the serial number, and it shows us also the model. It will disconnect the device, but it's not really disconnected, just disconnected for visibility in the device manager. The field gate array is still connected with the computer, and it overrides all the parts in the field gate array. There are several parameters inside which will be rewritten. Okay, and here we are. It's ready. It has started again. And if you go to the latest point of the menu, you will see 1.17. The firmwares have two parts why we do it. One is that we change stability, and one we change some features, or we adapted some new features. For the handheld, we changed how we can access to channel 38 in the UK. Very important. It will work now with the remote control like the other devices. And the other part is we changed something on stability. There is no special notice about what Sony has changed here. Okay, let's check another device. What I have here is the DWX-Series. That's the transmitter from generation 3. And the version we have here is 1.02. Let's plug it in. Came up on port 7, says Sony Digital Wireless Transmitter, and now we have to download the right firmware. Which is 1.04. The zip file, extract it, go into the updater and use the BC-104. Select COM7 and say next. And now it's starting the same process as we have seen with the handheld. So this type of software update works for the P01N from generation 2.5. It works for the P30, very new, so there is no update. From generation 3. Whenever we have a new update, I will change this under the location in Dropbox, and I will change the notes here that you can see what has changed and what is the latest version. You'll find the link to the Dropbox folder again. Find it in the description here under the video. Okay, ready. So we have updated some devices. This is the process which is for all devices the same. The BO1s, the B30, the DWM02, the BO3R, and the plug-ons. It's for all versions the same. Plug in the micro USB cable, select the right DWPKG file, which you find in the Dropbox folder, and then it will start the update. If it failed, you can normally start the update process again. The main firmware which drives the filter array is still available. So if it fails because you lose the battery or somebody switch off the computer or computer goes in sleep mode or you disconnect the cable, you will not see any display. Everything is off, but if you plug it in, you will hear the noise and you can see that Windows has found the device again, and then you start the update process in the same way again. Okay, but what is how to update the receiver? If we look on the receivers we have two types. It's the 19-inch rack. This is update by an IP address, which is the version 1.13 for the DWX-3D here. Downloaded it, unzip it, and you have the DWPKG file here. Wireless microphone system updater. So load the file, go to next. It will search in the network and it finds two receivers. So you select the two receivers and then you can update it in the same way. Also here, if you break the connection, if something happens, the receiver looks like it is dead, but it's not. If you connect it again, you will see on the back side that the LED is blinking for the network. That means that the receiver is still alive, but the software cannot start the display and everything. So you connect it again to the system updater and you start the update process again, and it normally found the receiver and start the update again and finish it hopefully well. If you're on a network, look on latency. This is very important. So don't use the updater in a virtual network. Don't use it as you have several VPNs in between your computer and your receiver. So be as close as direct to the receiver as you can, because everything based here on latency. If the latency is too long, the software will stop the update process. If you like to find out the IP address of your receiver, that's very simple. You go to utility on the receiver, go to network, press the jog dial, scroll down to receiver IP, and it shows you the IP address here in the display. You can do this also in Wireless Studio. There's a function which shows you the IP address of all your devices in the network. This receiver I like to show you is the SO3D. This is also updated by USB. So you plug it in a power source. In my case here, it's an adapter which has a battery, and then you switch on your receiver. You look in the menu on the latest software version. which is in our case here the version 100, which is an old version. So you plug it in. It shows us serial device on COM9. That's okay. So let's go to the website. Let's see if we have something for the SO3D, which is 1.11. Downloaded it, go on the system updater and go to SO3D 1.1, select the update file, say next, shows us everything on COM9, and you can start the update. So now you know how to update Sony's DWX components from generation 2, generation 2.5 and generation 3. There will be also a Dante update for the rack mount receiver. If you like to update your Dante part in the rack mount receiver, send me a note in the comment field under the video here. If you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and